Let's take a look at the accessibility features of the pedestrian crossing button. The main button design seen in Australia and New Zealand is called the PB5. The PB5 was designed in Australia in 1984. It has a large metal button that can be pressed easily, even by people who cannot use their hands. The PB5 emits short beeps, which is designed to help blind and low vision people to locate the button. The locator beep also means that you should not cross the road at this stage. When it is time to cross, it makes this sound. The rainbow crossing on Cuba Street seems to lack a curb cut here for wheelchair users. Inclusive. The audio signals make crossing the road accessible for blind and low vision people. The PB5 also provides tactile signals through vibrations on the arrow above the button. This makes it accessible for people who are deaf-blind, or if you're blind and you're wearing headphones at the same time. The tactile signals also helps blind people to distinguish which pedestrian crossing button is making a crossing sound. At busy intersections, it can be confusing to know which button is creating the cross sound. The audio signals are great for disabled people, but they also help everyone. I often notice pedestrians that are distracted on their phone. The audio signal prompts them to cross the road. Often, accessible design makes the world better for everyone. Unfortunately, sometimes the audio signals break and malfunction, making it difficult for blind people to cross the road safely. When I first moved to Wellington, I noticed many pedestrian crossings were broken and made no sound for blind people. I ended up on the front page of the local newspaper, advocating for the council to resolve this issue. If you notice a silent button, please report it to your local council so that it's fixed. Here's an example of a faulty button. It's emitting a quack sound rather than a beep. It's important that the button makes the right sound. If it doesn't, it makes it less accessible for disabled people. The volume of the audio signals automatically adjusts to environmental noise. A microphone automatically increases the volume when there's loud traffic, and automatically lowers the volume when it's quiet, like at night. This helps to ensure the beeps are always at the right sound level. The raised arrow on the button helps to tell blind people which direction to walk in when crossing the road. This crossing on Victoria Street also seems to lack a curb cut, which makes it not accessible for wheelchair users. One substantial accessibility problem with our current pedestrian crossings is how much time we give to people to cross the road. Most crossings do not give enough time for people who walk slowly. We typically give large amounts of time for vehicles to go through an intersection and very small amounts of time for pedestrians to use the intersection. This seems fundamentally unfair and is prioritising the car over the pedestrian. Kia ora, I'm Callum McMenamin and I run a consultancy called Open Access. Open Access works with clients across Australia and New Zealand to help make their websites, apps, documents and digital systems more accessible for disabled people. Digital systems can contain barriers that make it difficult or impossible for disabled people to use those systems. Often accessibility issues are quite difficult to notice, so that's why you need someone with the right expertise to help detect those issues and provide adequate solutions for them. That's where my accessibility assessments can help. When I audit a system, I find all of the problems that no one's noticed before, and I provide practical solutions for them. Accessibility is so important. Stats NZ data shows that 1 in 6 New Zealanders are disabled. If your website or app is not accessible, you could be excluding these people unintentionally. I'm disabled myself. I have vision impairment, so I know what it's like to experience these accessibility problems in daily life. That's why I'm on a mission to help make Aotearoa and Australia more accessible for everyone. If you'd like to find out more, head to openaccess.nz. Wellington has some unique pedestrian crossing lights. They're not the typical green man figure. This one is Carmen Rupe, a trans woman who was famous in Wellington. Carmen was a drag performer, brothel keeper, anti-discrimination activist, and HIV/AIDS activist. Carmen Rupe was New Zealand's first drag queen to reach celebrity status. She ran for the Wellington Mayoralty in 1977, with Sir Bob Jones helping to fund the campaign. Carmen ran a platform on legalising gay marriage and legalising brothels. These pedestrian lights were installed to celebrate the Kapa haka festival Te Matatini. These lights depict haka and poi poses. These lights near Parliament show Kate Shepherd. Kate Shepherd helped lead the campaign for women's right to vote. In 1893, that campaign helped make New Zealand the first self-governing country in the world where women won the right to vote. This light is at Pukeahu, the National War Memorial. It depicts Alfred Shout, a soldier who was born in Wellington. He fought at Gallipoli in the First World War. He lit 3 bombs to throw at the enemy. He successfully threw 2 of the bombs, but the third exploded in his hand, and he died 2 days later. While I was walking the streets of Wellington, recording for this video, I came across this sculpture on Lambton Quay. Most people probably walk past it without really noticing. It's called Invisible City by Anton Parsons. Invisible City is a collaboration with blind poet Peter Beetson of Palmerston North. It comprises 2 large stainless steel monoliths, and they're covered in braille. The 2 stainless steel towers are beautiful and imposing. When you look at Invisible City, you see a reflection of Wellington. It's a sculpture that is designed to be seen and to be touched. The poetry covering its surface is only in braille, and parts of the braille are too high to be reached. The artist intentionally places an accessibility barrier for the audience. The braille poem reads, "The word made flesh can bleed. Am I bound or freed? Embracing visual silence, alone. I breed a virtual skin of signs across the void. But when the fault line ruptures, the word made flesh will bleed. By the unseen key. I plant this graven seed, betrayed by the wind, my sonic charts destroyed, tethered sign to skin. I am both bound and freed." I interpret multiple themes in this poem. I think it's expressing a feeling of loneliness, of being blind in Wellington City. It discusses braille and how it is liberating for many blind people, but it is also limiting. It needs to be felt to be perceived. It talks about Wellington's wind and how it disrupts hearing, a sense blind people rely on to navigate. It makes the environment challenging to exist in. The piece ends saying he feels both bound and freed. We exist as disabled people, bound by the things we cannot do, and freed by the glimpses of accessible design around us. Thanks for watching this video. I run a consultancy called Open Access. Open Access helps to make digital services, apps, and websites accessible for disabled people. I provide accessibility audits, training, and advice. To find out more, visit openaccess.nz. I myself have vision impairment. If I go to a restaurant and I can't see the menu,